EOS, we start with daily charges. I want to give a quick update. And for this year, after the XRP, I'm looking for the EOS, right? Because still the price is very low. Mostly for me, I've been looking for since the price, the price I've been looking for buys between 50 and 60 cent. Below 60 cent is the best. This is the good price which I have been looking for buy. Okay, and since the price we get this low, since we had the divergence, we have been looking for buy. This is what we get. Now we want to see whether we can look for continuation or that we can look for the next drop. All right, and even at this point, the price is good to look for buy, but the best is below 60 cent. All right. Anyway, as I mentioned for this year, I'm looking for the US because if we move to higher time frame, first of all, uh, different charts for 2018. All right, different charts they show us a different all-time high, and some of the chart they show us the 20, 19.5 or 19.6, somewhere around 20, and some of them they showing us a 15, any range between 15 and 16. Okay, to make it very simple for me, the target, the tops I'm looking for is a 15. All right, that's mean if we consider this one somewhere around 15, if we put our high here, because this is what we get on 2021. All right, then the price tag 15. That's why we can, if the overall market start to move, at least we can look for 15 and even higher the price. That's why I'm looking for the EOS as well. And at this point, the price is very low and we are within this correction. And mostly I've been looking for buy since the price was within the range of the 50 and 60 cent, right? Now, if we move to lower time frame, if we move to the weekly chart, first of all, the question is whether this is the start of the uptrend or we can put this one in relative to any of this for the next drop. And if we get the next drop, as I mentioned, any price below the 60 cent within the range of the 50, I will look for buy. Then I will not even look for the trade setup. All right. And if anyone wants to look for buy from here, first we have to see the breakout of this part, this correction at the top. Then the targets as a short term we can look for is 3.8 following by 6. With the breakout of this zone, then we come up how high it can go. And as I mentioned, at least I'm looking for the 15 as long as we get the reversal. That's why if we refer to the XRP, the times the price of the XRP was below 50 cent, all right, if we are within the range of the 50 cent, I mentioned any price below 50, we just buy. Even we get the price at the 41 cent or 42 cent. All right, now the price is above 2. And this one is EOS is similar to what I explained for the XRP. Any price below 60 cent, we don't need to look for the trade setup, we just buy. And even 80 is some of the traders, they get the capital and they can hold, still is look good for buy. All right, the reason I mentioned below 60 because if we get the next drop, we can expect the price even drop to somewhere around 50 or even 40 cent. All right, now first we're looking for the EOS for this year. This is second one after the XRP, and at least we're looking to see the breakout of the 6.0. We'll break out of this zone, then from there at least we can look for 15, and I'm sure the price at least take the all-time high if the market start. And the only thing is how we can look for buy. And if we move to daily chart, all right, if anyone wants to look for buy, because as I mentioned earlier, after we get this drop following by divergence, we have been looking for buy. This is what we get. Now the question is whether we can look for continuation with the breakout of this top or we can expect the next drop. And for sure, if the next drop happen, it's good. We can look for buy again. As I mentioned, we do the trade setup below 60 cent. But if anyone wants to look for buy from here, first we prefer to see the breakout of this one. And if I like based on 1 hour chart, we will take it. And with the breakout of this top, we move our stop loss to break even. All right. Now I don't see any trade setup based on daily chart. Simply we shouldn't buy because we have a divergence. That's why we have to look for the trade setup. And if we move to forward chart, even I don't see the trade setup. That's why I mentioned with the breakout of the previous top based on daily chart as what I show. This is how we can look for buy, and even there is no trade setup based on 1 hour chart, no flag, and we can expect to see the divergence. Anyway, as I mentioned, for me, if I want to look for buy, either I will wait to see the breakout of the 90 cent or 89, then any opportunity as a flag, we will take it. And with the breakout of 1.03, which is the stop, we move our stop loss to break even. And at this point, we shouldn't look for, but simply we cannot buy because of the divergence. And if may we get the next drop. By the way, as I mentioned, the EOS can be a good investment with a good return. And as long as the price retest or drop to 60 or below 60, we just buy. Okay, even at this point is a good price to look for buy. But for me, at this price, I prefer to look for the trade setup. But below the 60 cent, within the range of the 50 or 60 or even lower, I just buy. Right? Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.